Here it is. It's a place to regroup, dry some things. These boots and the pants, wet and muddy, coming down Toolbox Creek today. This is a dispersed camping location close to my next hiking adventure, which is Fall Creek. I'm still in this main drainage for the Big Lost River, and fortunately there's been no rainfall today. My last forecast from Idaho Falls, which is quite a ways away, maybe 100 miles, was that there was going to be kind of a building up of the high pressure and heat again towards the end of this week. So I'm thinking that this is the beginning of the dry spell. Falls Creek is going to take me up into these mountains, back into the Pioneer Mountains, which I'd visited like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and it's a bit farther north, but I'm really excited about it. Wow. I needed that sun. I needed it so bad that I dragged all my stuff from over there over here just to get this direct sunlight. Temperatures were mid to upper 40s when I looked this morning, and this layer was in the motorcycle bag. I just didn't even think about getting it until now. I heard the owl. Right as daylight was starting to break, and it was a big one that had a 4-hoot cadence. All right, so that was real nice. I had to listen really hard for it because he was far away, and it was more like just like this tone that I couldn't tell what it was, and it was kind of echoing here off of the canyon walls. But boy, that sure was nice to hear this morning. So I was just talking to the Forest Service guy, and he said that these tips are brown like this because of a moth and worm infestation, and I can see all of the moths flying around. It's the Fall Creek Trail. Sadly, an old logging road. I've seen 1 or 2 old trees left. Well, here's an old tree. There's another one down here. Nice to see. Man, there's a pool down here that looks so nice. I'm feeling ripe, like I need a bath. Whoa. We're going to take a break here. Okay, this creek crossing and the intersection with the Highline Trail is about 2 miles in. I'm going up into Surprise Valley, which goes up to the left somewhere, but I'm thinking I'd like to camp before I go up. I'm not sure. I'm just going to kind of play it by ear. I don't necessarily want to be around this shrubbery. It can host animals. However, the skies have filled up with clouds now, so we might be looking here sooner than later. Well, I came back here to look at this big tree. Here's a potential location here. It's not far back as I'd like to be, but what I think is that it narrows, the canyon narrows, and it's not very flat. And this is, oh, we got some animal signs here. However, right down here is the Fall Creek, and I have access to it without any of the shrubbery, and the trail's rather close. This might just work here. Yeah, this is where I'm going to spend the 5th night of this adventure, and the first night in Fall Creek drainage. It was an early pullout from the trail. It's rather close, and that's okay with me. I haven't seen people in a few days, give or take, so this will be okay if I see some people and I wave. But this spot here was just fantastic to mold for a perfect sleeping spot. This duff is amazing. Look at, and I just fashioned a shelf here. I bungeed these evergreen shrubs away, and these guys I had to be very careful with. You don't see these too often much anymore. You can see here they're drying out right on the ends here. It's the heating of this planet that's, you know, taking a toll on these guys that they're very, very fragile. So I was careful to pull them away from the front of my tent area. And now I go down to Fall Creek for some water, and I'm in the mood for some Powerade. I don't know about you guys, but I think that's going to hit the spot right now. What a beautiful pool right here. And man, if that sun was shining, I'd be in it. No doubt. I've been looking around at the sand for animal signs, and here is a humongous track right here. Humongous. I might venture a guess that it's a moose print or a very large elk track. This one is a little smaller. It could have been just the way the force was put into it. But that's a big spot. And this is big too. If that's one big hoof print. I didn't see anything else in here though. We're looking for bear signs. I haven't mentioned the B word yet until now. The bugs have been almost non-existent up until now. We've got flies and mosquitoes. Here's something that a friend told me to keep an eye out for. You know, initially I said, hey, that's a cow patty. However, I don't think the cows get this far back here. What my friend said was that moose do the same poop piles as cows. So my guess is we've got some moose back here, and I'll just have to be extra cautious, especially with these shrubs close to the water. That's where they hide out. It's the morning of day 6, packing up. No direct sun warm up. It's chilly. And we had a 4-legged friend back here. Probably an elk or a deer. Alright, so here we go up into Surprise Valley. Surprise Valley Trail. Very interesting. It's steep in some places, and kind of glad I saved it for the coolness of the morning. Here it is, I guess the crest of the bottom of the valley. And here's a couple really nice camp locations over here. Fabulous. Here's a nice meadow. And camping over here with the spring springing out right here. Fantastic. Here, more water right here. This is just beautiful. Yeah, it's a really thick forest. I'm surprised. There's some nice big old growth trees back here. And here's another. Yeah. Thank you. And we've got the water trickling down through here. It's spotty, but there's plenty of water. Lots of boulders and lots of little trees. I'm hoping it clears out. This is too close for me to encounter animals. And here's the trail. I'm looking for some water draining from a lake. Wow. This is really close to the Surprise Valley Trail, right down here. But this has got to be, 1,500 feet above Fall Creek Valley here. Beautiful. This is fantastic. What a place to be right now. This is well above Fall Creek Canyon here, with lingering snow at the top. My path is continuing up this valley here, Surprise Valley. I'm gonna look for a spot somewhere in this upper basin for a camp. And there's some really nice spots in here with big old growth trees and grassy flats. I'll just need to find some water. Beautiful in here. Get over there. Alright, there's the lake. Well, I had thought it would be nice to camp up there with the view into Fall Creek Canyon. Here it is, but what I'm also thinking is maximizing the sun rise and sun setting, which is going to be about the best in here, I think. Alright, I'm going to look for some running water. Yeah, there's a creek over here. Really making me think about where to set my stuff to maximize this sun. Morning sun, setting sun, and clothing drying. Let's look at the water. Yeah, here's a nice place. There's some grassy spots back here. I'm gonna go look for a possible camp location. Although I did like it higher up over here. Let's see what we got. Guess the trail keeps going this way. Here, the water starts to fall down through these rocks. Yeah, there's even some good places down here to clean. I'm gonna look at the compass, see where we are for sunrise. This is where I'm gonna be to get the morning sun, somewhere in here. I'm going to hang my clothes to dry over here. And here we've got these trees here to block the setting sun. Just not sure where it's going to be. And I could just temporarily set the tent somewhere in here for now. Well, there are the clean clothes drying. And so I got a good body cleanse also. I was down in this little creek draw here, and it's really flowing fast. And one thing I had to be sure of was not to drop anything in that water, because it would just be gone. The bear can is in effect now, because from the forest I heard this whoa, like this, whoop, a little longer. So it was a bear grunting at my presence, easily 40 or 50 yards into the forest. So there's bears up here, and I have to lock this. Even when I went down to the creek, I just can't afford to lose any food here. And right now, I'm going to celebrate pure New Zealand taste cheddar vintage cheese with my flax corn chips, and I'm celebrating being back up in the alpine area. This is where I was hanging out, drying clothes, and I just decided to pack up and go up a little higher. I don't really want to be around this lake and all this shrubbery. Bear activity and moose activity. I stopped to film, and this is it's all been disturbed by a bear looking for grubs. And I've been making noise. It's a little close in here. Hey there! Hey there! The trail it's easy to follow, but there's a lot of like bog, you know, just standing water all in here. And I wanted to get around this slide to see what there is, and you can see there's like sun shining this way. Maybe there's, I don't know, more sun. And the shrubs are getting low. Still some trees back here. Yeah. So, yeah, obvious place to go look for camp spots in here. Yeah, here it is. It's going to be a nice spot, and I'll just have to wait for the sun again. 4th day in a row, maybe 5th tomorrow. But this back here is just super soft and just going to be warm. All of this was damp. Okay, so back here we've got 2 peaks. Pyramid Peak. It's 11,500, give or take. And this one back here is Stand Hope Peak. It's 11,870 something. And again, the way my map shows is that just through that saddle there is Betty Lake, Goat Lake, and a couple other lakes that I'll get to tomorrow. It's gonna be a no-brainer, but it sure is nice to be back up here. Yeah, here comes the warm-up. It wasn't so bad. I had imagined that, you know, this rock wall here, once the sun started hitting it, that it would reflect heat, and it was noticeable. So this is round 2 of coffee, and this day is just gonna get milked. It was a very nice night. Interesting too, the creek. There's actually a couple creeks in here, but every time the wind blew this way, the sound was amplified, like it was right next to me. I'm not sure if any animals were around last night. I heard some rocks fall, and it sounded like there were some footsteps over in here. It's the perfect sheep and goat habitat back here. Though I haven't seen any signs yet, I'm sure I will as I get up into this pass later today. Day number 7. Pretty amazing here. This would have been a great place to stay last night. It's a possible location to stay tonight or tomorrow night. Both yesterday and today have been just beautiful with the weather. And again, I'm thinking the trail goes over this here. Here I am up in the boulders, Challis and pumice, and it's a good trail through here. Was half expecting it would be. And here's the lake, which I guess I'll call Surprise Lake, Surprise Valley. There's that first lake way down there that I was at yesterday. And I think the range beyond this ridge was where I was at earlier this week. Fantastic up here. And I'm pushing over 10,000 feet now. Here I think this is just 11.5, 11.8 over here. And really the only animals yet to see up here would be sheep and goats. I'm gonna get there, slowly but surely, and that's okay. A little bit at a time. I'm in no hurry. Fact is, we'll have a seat right here. Oh yeah. Oh my word. Sticky. Oh my word, guys, that is so intense. It smells like the best marijuana I've ever had with a oh man, sticky, with a strong mint odor. These are amazing. Just here and up here, here, almost at the top, but I won't see these from up there. Holy smokes, what another world up here. This is the pass, and these views are just stunning, spectacular. I am so elated now. I am so glad that I'm here. It took at least an hour from this lake, 20 or 30 steps at a time, rest and catch my breath. This is borderline altitude sickness, but I'm okay for sure. This is Surprise Valley. Amazing. What spectacular scenes to take in. And on this side, I'm above Betty Lake down here, which is another amazing sight. Look, yeah. There's another lake on top over here. It's amazing. And we've got a group of equestrians down here, horseback. Alright, let's see if I can zoom in to the place that I was just a few days back. That, I'm thinking right there, is Herd Peak. And a little hard for me to see in this rangefinder. Okay, just in there is where I found the elk antler, the green spot on the left, and that's where I started climbing the ridgeline. Over here is Jerry Peak. Just a fantastic place to take this in. Beyond that Here we have the White Clouds Wilderness, White Cloud Mountains. Now this is a place that I intended to be at right now, except I just kept it in this river drainage just to save some time and money and gas. White Cloud Mountains over there, and it's on the last of my list of places to go this summer. And I got to figure out, there's another set over here, some big ones. I'll have to look at the map and see which ones those are. And I am up in the Pioneer Mountains, and I have a strong suspicion that this one here is Smiley Mountain, where I was just on the other side of a month or so ago. And then they taper off down to the right. Hold on. We want to get over here and get a look. Oh damn, there's a trail going up here. What's that about? Oh, I think I have an idea. That one goes to Baptiste, pretty sure. And I think this one is Goat Lake, this one being Betty Lake here, this big one. I honestly don't have any interest in going back down this way. There's 4 people now and 2 horses at the lake. Oh, and there's 2 more people over there. This being Friday night, I'm thinking more people are just going to keep coming in. Okay, so I've had my fill of this view, and I'm heading back down the way I came. I'll find a campsite along the drainage of the lake. Well, here it is. I'm gonna put the tent over in here. Yeah, this is a nice place to be. Got the bug net in effect. We have mosquitoes, but they're not in here. I'm fixing some tea. It was a bombastic day going up to that pass. And I don't mind that I carried all my gear up there and carried it back down this way. There's my alarm clock. I was awake earlier. That's a nice thing to have that sun. Probably a couple hours earlier than yesterday. Okay, it's just gonna be a kind of a mellow hike out. I'm thinking we'll get back to the motorcycle and get my bags and my elk antler and spend another night up here
in these hills somewhere.
This is where I did it last night. Just a wonderful place. Quiet. It was pretty warm too last night. Not really cold. And so I'm ready to bail out. Roughly 6.5 miles. Probably 3,500 feet down, my guess. Yeah, it's kind of a sad thought now to have to go down away from this beauty. But that's okay. I lived up here for 2 days, and that's great. And now I'm into the boulder fields, which I think continue all the way around the back side of this outcropping here. Right in here, coming down the trail here, I saw a pine marten, and it's like a big squirrel, and they're really rare, hard to you know, encounter out here. But I don't know where he went. I'm thinking he went up right up there, because I didn't see him go this way. He's over in here, snarling, fighting with maybe another pine marten. Down here. There they go. We've got some pine martens chasing each other all over in these rocks. Here I'm back above Fall Creek on the trail going down. That was so exciting to get the pine martens on film. Just a chance of a lifetime to be so close. Okay, coming down to the end here, and this was a nice view up here. That's up the Wild Horse Creek drainage, and it's a hot one. It's probably 85 degrees down here, and it's finishing up this Surprise Valley hike. It will be about, I don't know, 14 miles? 14 miles and probably 7,000 feet elevation change. Wow. This is the end of the trip. It's my last night. I retrieved my elk shed, my panniers for the motorcycle. Here's the motorcycle right there. I'm right next to the parking lot, and I chose this place right next to the creek, Fall Creek, only because it's really hot and I need this water.